Hi, my name's Trish. I'm part of the Agape team. And when I knew about this topic, how to develop healthy relationships, a thought came to me and I shared it with Helen, and she asked if I would share it with all of you. So um, it's very brief, and it's something that has affected my whole life and changed my life. So what I've learned in my 20 years of marriage through much suffering is, or two things, I suppose. One is um, I was so determined to change my husband. I wanted him to be and do exactly what I wanted, so that then life would be exactly how I wanted it. I came from a controlling family background, and this is what the women did. They controlled their husbands and everybody else. And then I just realised how unhealthy, and really my life became so unmanageable. So it was not a healthy thing. It took me years and years and years, and we actually almost broke up because I was just way too controlling, and with this intention that I had to change him. So that's one of the main lessons that I've learned is if you try and change people, and particularly in an intimate relationship, and of course any relationship, it pushes people away. It doesn't work. It's not healthy. And so what I have learned is to accept the person as they are, and to appreciate the differences. I think that's been one of the main lessons I've learned, is to appreciate the differences, that we are all different. We come from different backgrounds, and particularly in my marriage, I just had to learn to appreciate that we are different. And then the final thing I want to say is not to blame. Like, I realised how much I was blaming him everything at every opportunity. I'd be blaming and judging, and it was always his fault. And so what I learned, and particularly through the Agape principles, which were very, very helpful to me, is in assertive communication, which is where when you want to communicate something that's hurt you, you're angry, or something's happened that you're not happy about, I always say, I feel. So as a result of what you did or said, I feel whatever. So it's not actually blaming him or the person. And so never saying you, it just is so destructive. It just became so destructive in my relationship. Every time I said, you did this, you said that, and you, it's very destructive in my experience. And then another thing, or the final thing that I want to say, because Helen, I don't want to take over Helen's talk, is whenever I'm angry, and I'm angry very often, is I have to deal with myself. And somebody once said to me, don't ever speak to anybody when you're angry. And I really took that on board, and it's very, very difficult to do, but I have to remove myself from the situation, deal with myself, deal with my anger. And then when I've calmed down, I come back, and then I'm able to have a respectful conversation. And that's pretty much all I wanted to share. And funnily enough, just before the seminar, I asked my husband the same question. I said, look, in our 20 years of marriage, what would you say is the one thing that you have learned? And what he said to me was acceptance. So that's one of the things that I've had to learn as well. So there's a time to say things. It doesn't mean you have to accept if it's something bad, or let's say somebody's being very destructive, or saying or doing things that are destructive and not healthy. Obviously, in that case, you might have to remove yourself from the relationship or the situation. But generally speaking, in normal, say, relationships where we have our, usual problems with people, that's what I've learned, and that's what I wanted to share with you today. So thank you so much.